Okay, I want to welcome everyone to today's working session of the Rockland Board of Sewer Commissioners. This meeting is being taped for playback later on WRPS as you, wherever you feel like watching on. The items on the agenda are those selected by the chair. Other items may be discussed to the extent permissible by law. So I don't take a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Megan, as you can see, is back in the fold. She realized how much she was missed, how good she had it here.
Yeah, that's it.
And
That's it.
I don't know what your time is, if you've got to get rolling, if you want to sit in on it, or do you got to, if you got to run, you want to say a few words. Totally up to you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Glad I'm back. It's good to see everybody. And I do have to get going, but anyway.
Okay,
I'm glad to see you. Yeah.
Before you go, the few things that I have is, we're going to be, I think it's going to be a virtual meeting on the generator next week. Just so you know, we have it, I think I touched base with you, for Dan and Sherry, we have 40 hours credit engineering support with Veolia under the new contract. Kevin Olson of RIPS indicated we may want to have additional engineering support with the generator project coming on. And he mentioned Veolia, but what I'm going to ask Megan to do and the others, I just want to keep everything on the even playing field. What I would like you to do is get, you could do it after the meeting next week or whatever. I want an estimate of hours only, not a cost, an estimate of hours only to support the generator project from Veolia. I'm going to ask the same of Wright Pierce and the same of Weston Sampson, just to so I can see it's apples for apples, the same, all in the same ballpark of hours. Do I have anything else for you?
On how long it's going to take?
Yeah, on how long they could feel free to touch base with Kevin. Okay. You know, if you want on that.
So that's going to be virtual. What day? Do you know?
I think it's Wednesday.
So is that, it is that Wednesday that I emailed? Kevin
Yeah.
about? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I can't see paying for them to come out here for that. Adam's not coming Tuesday for the generator bid opening. So everyone knows there was significant interest in the electrical portion, so I don't think that's going to be a matter. If we have to go out to rebid for the HVAC, we'll still meet the ARPA deadline.
You said Tuesday is the bid opening?
For the electrical, yes. You know, Alan's not going to be there, but I'll have Robin witness it, or Megan, or both, whoever.
And before I left, before I leave, Jay stopped by.
Who?
Wilkinson. Jay stopped by. I went over where the piping's going to be laid out, and he said most of the piping is already here. He's still waiting on some of the parts, and hopefully they can start prepping, and
Nice.
hopefully they can start it.
And I'm not sure if we told you that we extended them to the end
Yes,
of
we did.
October.
Yes, you did. So.
And one of the other things Meg and I agreed on, that no secrets. I want to know exactly, need to know exactly how this plant is running. So whatever's broken needs to be fixed, we'll fix it. Other than that,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Welcome home.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Good to see you.
I'm going to turn to see, do I have any other items that may be of interest to Robin? Let me just go down my list of other stuff I was going to go for housekeeping. On the facility upgrade. Okay, no, I just went through the Veolia with the generator, getting hours and estimates. The base is supplemental draft impact report came out. I don't know if any of you had a chance to read it. The conclusion, it's not a conclusion, but it's their feeling as of now in the project that the Rockland residential units will be on individual septic until the time we can have enough sewerage to support them. They'll be looking for Abington to take some of the sewer under our municipal agreement and Brockton, but you know those numbers still need to be discussed. Their numbers did go up a bit from the 180,000 but, that was to be expected. I'm going to be sending a letter to them. They had requested a meeting. At our last meeting, they had offered to put down $80,000 for smoke testing. And that would have had been extremely rushed to meet the dry season now. And plus bring the public up to speed and to do it right. What I'm gonna propose to them, and that we're gonna do hopefully they'll still contribute the $80,000 next year, but we're gonna do a comprehensive smoke and dye test in town next year. So hopefully, I think they still will contribute that 80, but I wanna let them know we have not backburned that. I just wanna take the time to do it right. And to do it right, we gotta get the public buy-in on that. Now, part of that public buy-in, WRPS and Allison have approached me about doing an interview on the cable network about what's going on at SOAR, and I have no problem with that. With the summer and everything else we got going on, I'm going to schedule that for around the 1st of September. On top of that, I have requested a joint meeting with planning and the ZBA. I think it's imperative that this stage of the game that they're brought up to speed on what we have been doing, and that in this phase of the I&I control plan, we're going to be going after the inflow. And it's imperative that everyone realizes that the inflow, where infiltration is on the public property, inflow is on private property, the bulk of it. Some is on municipal, but the bulk of it is on private property. So they need to understand that. And say, for example, next year we find, hey, we got 200,000 gallons we could potentially remove of inflow. It may take us 2 years to get the funding and the private property buy-in to go after that. So there's going to be a time that flow is not going to become available right away.
I have a question.
Yep.
Will we be using the smoke testing results from the team at the South Weymouth Naval Air Station to identify that inflow?
They're going to be part of it.
They are, okay.
That's it. They're $80,000. So
Okay.
I'm going to see if they're buying, but I want to do rather than do just a piecemeal section, and then, struggle to get everyone aware and what's going on at Penn. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we're not going to take your sump pumps. We're going to help you out. But I think you're going to find the bulk of the problem is going to come from illegal roof drains and town drainage that was connected that has not been disconnected from sewer, the sanitary sewer.
So have we identified some sources of inflow already? No?
No, that was part of the year 4 I&I control plan. We're in year 2, but we're already we're in year 3 of it,
right.
So we're ahead of the game. So, but I'm pulling it in even faster to go after that.
So it's going to be like a full-blown program.
Yeah, full-blown smoke and dye test, so we know. The dye will have to be done in the high water period, which I'm shooting for April, May. Mm-hmm. Smoke testing is going to be done in the very driest of periods. As far as the report for the past round of infiltration investigation, haven't seen it yet. They're still struggling. This is a bad time, vacations and getting everything together.
Do we have any estimate on when we're going to get that?
I should see at the end of the month. I'm not, with everything we've got going and that, I'm not going to pressure them. Personally, I don't have the time to dig into it. There was an interest in the superintendent position. If you recall, you might recall, a guy named Jim something or other applied. He had great hands-on street work, knew how to operate the equipment on that.
From Boston?
Yes, but he didn't have any.
The guy that worked in Boston?
Huh?
Was that the fellow that was working in Boston?
Working in Boston on that, but he had no computer skills. Now, that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Since that time, he's taken Word courses, Excel courses, and over the past year, he's been 3 days in the office with this company. So he had reached out to me to see if the position was still open. I said, yes. I said, submit your resume to Human Resources, an updated resume, and we'll be glad to talk to you again. I mean, he came in once.
Seemed like a nice guy, had a young family, everything.
Huh?
I think he had a young family also.
Yes, if I recall right, he did. He worked at Brockton Hospital at times. It just,
Did he work for the town of Hingham?
I don't know where he lives, to be honest with you.
No, I thought he worked for
No,
the
that's
town
another
of
guy.
Hingham. Oh, it's a different person?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of different, but I think he might have lived in Hingham or something. But anyway, I told him to submit his resume. Now, speaking of that, I got an email from Doug and Doug Lapp last week. Wanted to know if I could meet with the new HR person and to discuss the superintendent's position. I wanted to get the feel from Dan and Sherry on, do you think we should have them in the working session, that we do it all in one? How would you like to do this?
Well, part of it depends on your comfort level, because you're the one that's going to be meeting with them. I don't have a problem if you do so. I think, we should take whatever assistance we can get. They might have some out of the box or different.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Do you want to all meet
Yeah.
together with them and just hear what they have to say, or rather than? If you don't have to,
I'm open
we
to
don't
it.
care. I don't
I
care.
don't care either. I don't care either.
Dan, what do you think?
I'll go with the majority. He says we should see him. He comes during one of our.
Oh, not
sessions.
him. I'm talking about meet with HR and Doug
Oh, we'll
Black.
meet them. They come to one of our meetings.
All right, have them down.
Come down?
Yeah.
Should see if I can get him next Wednesday. Okay, now let's get back on the facility upgrade. Facility upgrade, we're signing the contract for the design phase, 1.7 million. Right now, Wright Pierce is doing the design. Once the design is complete, it is going out to bid. To me, the next stage, when we get through the fundamental part of the design, is when we should bring on an outside project manager. The outside project manager's position will be based on qualifications. There'll be a request, there'll be something published for that. And what I would like to do is I'd like to form a selection committee on that. The sewer commissioners have to be a part of it because he'll be reporting to us. I'm thinking we can get Ellard as the selectman rep. I think we should have someone from accounting be on there. Megan, where would be the upgrade, and I'd like to have a resident or two on there. Jack, if you want to participate, you've been in on that enough.
Not really.
All right, I want you to think about it. And Robin, I'd have you in on it as well. But I do want to get a resident involved. If you want it, if you don't want to, let me know and I'll solicit someone else.
Okay.
So
So I
let's
want
talk
you to
about
think-
the timing. When do we think we would be looking to have this
From what
person?
I've seen on it and
Right.
what everything's going, the way it's pacing out, I mean, if I want to be aggressive, I guess we could bring him on September. I would say let's have 1 or 2 more meetings under our belt so we know exactly what we are agreeing on to, as far as technically what the processes we want to use. I'm not saying the specific equipment. That'll be up to the OPM to research. I would say realistically, we could probably post for this in October. Late September, October.
Because that was not in our budget anywhere.
It's gonna be in the design, it's gonna be part of the
Part of the
design.
1.7?
It's gonna be part of the design package. You have to have an outside project manager.
What is it included in that cost of that contract? Or is this on top of that?
I would say it'd be on top of it, I could do a little more digging on it,
Yeah.
but I mean, we don't have to allocate the funds right now.
No, but before what you're talking about is still in FY '25.
Yeah. I don't know when he'd come on, but I imagine what I would like him, I envision, let's say he's selected by February, March. I'd like to have him ready for then at least preliminary meetings. I mean, we have time to talk about that.
Yeah, and we do have some wiggle room, but it's pending that final.
And I wouldn't
pending
know-
that final invoice from Veolia.
Okay, we're gonna
That's
talk
the
about that
wiggle room.
today.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much an outside project manager would be.
Mhm.
My guesstimate would be in the vicinity of 100,000, 150,000.
I would agree. Mhm.
Now, when you look at it, an outside project manager could also be done by a company like Veolia, Weston Sampson. I would exclude Wright Pierce, but Woodard and Curran.
I wonder if there's any state resources.
Huh?
I wonder if there's any state resources for municipal projects.
I don't know. Like I said, this is my first foray into these waters. I'm going to be meeting with Kevin to discuss it, and Doug. Or maybe you should handle that.
I kind of don't want to handle it because of the technicalities that are involved,
All right.
but I kind of want to be in the loop
Oh, you'd be in the loop.
as far as budgeting and
Yeah.
how we're going to swing it.
Well, that's where we are right now. But like I said, I'd like to form an interview committee, and I think whoever we have on that committee should basically follow through with the design portion of it, and the I would not say the construction. The construction's a different animal.
I think it would be very helpful to have the project manager not associated with our current engineering people, if possible.
Well, you know,
Just
like I
because
said,
it's
I'm up
Really
in the air.
fresh eyes.
Yeah, well,
to
you
find
gotta
the
remember,
holes.
like, if we do, that's why I'm saying excluding
Yeah.
Wright, Pierce, and Veolia, to be honest with you. For Veolia, I don't like their pricing. But I see, you know, the value in a company like Weston Sampson,
Mhm.
Woodard and Curran, Brown and Caldwell. These companies have experience in it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. What I do not want is just a local engineer coming in to bid on it. I want someone with it, and this is just my preference.
Well,
Don't
no, I
let me
agree.
dominate.
No, I agree,
want
because it's a
someone with
very,
wastewater.
very big project, so we do need a lot of experience.
But it's a very unique project, because it's not like building a school. There's a
Yeah.
lot of technicalities
Yeah.
involved in this, and a lot of regulatory matters.
Yeah.
So that's where that is, but I'd like to, by our August meeting, have an interview committee, ready, so we could bring them up to speed in September, saying, here's where we are, here's what's gonna be going on, here's what you need to look for.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have for my other stuff, so we can now get back to the agenda. And administrative update. Robin, you're up.
Okay, so we have this email from Hans at Veolia, where he references the agreement that we have for 155,433.
I have that done on the,
Yep.
you have a copy of this?
And we never
I
got
have
that
that.
bill.
No,
Right.
we never did, we just got it now, but the thing that
Right.
pissed me off, sorry, I can't say that, I'll be in court again, is, this is services through, God, I think November they were canceled.
Well, this is the site work design.
No, it's two separate things, right. There was the
Yeah.
agreement for 155,433.
And that's,
I'll have to encumber that bill because they never submitted it on time.
so we can do that. That was my question.
Correct.
All right,
But
and that is part of the ARPA funds. And I
That
think
was the
Doug-
ARPA plant upgrade.
And Doug, I think believe Doug may have
Okay.
alerted that.
So I'm gonna encumber that.
Okay.
He also mentions in that same email,
That,
yes, I'll take that. He also mentions in the same email the
You can have it.
724,567 contract
Yeah.
that was terminated.
Yes.
But they want to get paid for a portion of that. Did he ever say what that amount was?
that's that.
No, that's
No.
not. This is a separate contract. They had two
We
contracts.
have two contracts.
This one I can encumber and pay. They did the work. They billed us the contracts in
No, I have
full.
not received anything for them for services remit.
Right,
Nothing.
against that. So
Mhm.
then my concern for that is this new contract that we have with Wright Pierce
Yes,
Mhm.
for the 1.7 million. I did get Scott to sign it, but he signed off. We have 1.5 million in the bond. The other 200,000 is gonna come out of, I need to confirm this, the ARPA plant upgrade where this one was just terminated from,
Yes.
correct? Are we all in agreement with that? Okay, then I'll send this out today. I wasn't gonna send it out until I could confirm that. And I know you want me to give a copy to Kevin Olson, so I'll do that.
Can I confuse you a bit?
You can try, you're pretty good at it, go ahead.
That was a shot, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
good
file a
one.
grievance. No. What I'm wondering, Robin, is when we terminated Veolia from that bid, did Wright Pierce assume that their bills, did they pay them off and incorporate that? I would assume no.
I don't think so.
Okay, but I'll ask them on that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. I do have some bills from Wright Pierce. So, let me put this in the encumbered file. Do I have to turn in the encumbered bills next week?
Does that count as encumbered where it's coming out of an article? Or the ARPA?
Well, they already
account?
closed the books for this year. It's too late to get
That's
paid,
why
so I
it's
have to encumber. It'll still come
called
out of this
encumbered.
year's funds, yeah.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm all set.
Want to revisit that when she's done.
Oh, I'm sorry. This might be the same bill. I just want to double check. I don't want to revisit things twice. Yeah. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we were going to talk about account and bill coding.
Wait a minute, are you done with all your stuff?
All right, hold on. Back up.
Actually,
Okay,
maybe
well,
I'm
I'm
So
not-
that, the plant upgrade, we had 880 in ARPA. 200 of that is going to make up the rest of the design contract we just signed, 1.7.
Right, 1.5
And
is from the bond and
Yeah.
200 from ARPA plant upgrade.
And another 155 comes out of ARPA for that January invoice. So that leaves us with 524 for the generator.
We don't have that,
Pending.
we have that other invoice that we're
Pending what
expecting.
Veolia is gonna send us.
And that was
And
from the
after
plant upgrade
that-
as well.
Yeah, and after we get that, whatever's left can go to our project manager.
Can you pay project manager out of those funds?
When you say project outside, wait a minute,
The
say
outside.
that again, please,
The outside project manager that you are hoping to look for in the fall,
which we have to have, yes.
so that would come out of the remainder of the upgrade, plant upgrade funds. Now, right now, we're looking at as ARPA. We can talk to Scott and say, keep the outside project management to come out of the bond money rather than the ARPA money.
Well, the way
I don't know how we,
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
when we came up
So-
with the upgrade cost, we initially came up with a $32 million cost. I booted that up to $35 million, and I was going to include outside project manager as part of that $35 million.
oh, but not if we're gonna hire him in February, because we don't have the 35.
No, I'm just saying, but that's when I looked at that $35 million, would include that.
Well,
How we do that, I don't know.
Well, there's two questions. One is, can you use ARPA funds to pay that person? And if you can't, you already just allocated the bond to this contract that I'm
Uh-huh.
sending out, which
Uh-huh.
Scott signed off on.
uh-huh.
So if you're gonna switch and pay a person out of that bond,
No.
you're gonna have to revisit that with Scott before I
Okay.
send out that contract.
I would not send that let
Okay.
that contract
Yeah.
alone. We gotta
Yeah.
keep that moving.
Okay.
Deal with the outside project manager when it comes up.
All right.
We still should ask the question if we can spend the ARPA funds on that.
Yes, I agree. Okay.
Okay, so you need to, so what you can say to Scott is that we are looking to go out to bid October for an outside project manager, to hopefully have him on board, let's say January 1 of '25.
Mhm.
question funding.
How's your book?
It's fatter every day.
And if the answer's no, then I'm gonna say we need to pull the money from our retained earnings.
Yep. Well, we've only
Are
got
they
to
still
cover it
doing
for
that?
6 months.
Okay. Right, and then we can budget it for the following year.
And what else we can pull the superintendent's off if you have to. We'll find a way for that.
Depending,
Okay. So we've discussed, my only other accounting matter was on, bill quality,
No, I didn't.
no, hold
do
it,
that.
yeah, no, I
She's
haven't
not
done
done.
that, I'm looking at my account, what I wanted to talk about, Veolia invoice, we've done that. Okay, so if there's any other accounting, okay, the only other accounting issue I have is a combination of legal. We'll save that for legal. Go ahead, you're still on,
Okay.
Robin.
All right, so I have an application for a permit for 96 Emerson Street. They're doing a demo, so they want to cut and cap.
90,
6 Emerson, is that one of the ones we already addressed? Okay. They want me to approve it. They're demolishing the home there.
Emerson?
What was that?
It was 96 Emerson?
96 Emerson, so I can approve it and put the language in there about the cut and cap,
Mm-hmm.
if you're okay with me
I'm okay
approving
with that,
it.
yeah. I just still want to do a drive-by.
Right, and then you'll have to add language for the cut and cap. Did we decide if a cut and cap has to actually be a licensed drain layer or not?
I looked at it, no, it doesn't say.
Okay,
It doesn't say, but I do want to inspect it.
of course.
Should it be a licensed contractor or somebody?
No, it can be a licensed contractor, but.
Yeah, they're using a
Okay.
licensed
But I
contractor.
want it, I want to see it
You
open.
don't, you don't
and
want me
cap-
doing that.
No. Although I'm pretty good at PVC glue. But I want to just see, I want to see it cut, capped correctly.
Okay.
As long as it, make sure it says witnessed by sewer personnel.
Yeah. I have something here from Wright Pierce from June 4th. It's the proposal for design phase engineering services. I think it was left over from when
Cause it's it.
Michael was here, and I want to know what happened to it, if I'm supposed to be doing something with that.
No, that's that 1.7.
That's part of the 1.7?
This is the 1.7. Rip it.
What do you mean rip it?
You can get rid of it. That's part
Why
of the
would I
1.7.
do that? I want to keep it with the contract, right?
Okay, sure. Just redundant.
Okay. So my next item, I have a master contract list. Check to ensure that I have all of these contracts. I think, is this?
I put that together.
I don't,
And it's got a, yeah, it's got a date on there.
This is.
And so,
I can't see the date. I think I got that from Michael.
that's
when I-
from September. No, you got it from me. That was done in September 23.
Is that this?
No, it's similar, but no.
All right, so,
No, Robin and I were working on the new accounts book and
okay,
that fell
so,
out of my junk.
so is this mine or this is yours?
It's a list I made up, but it's not up to date.
Oh, so I
And
don't need to do anything with it.
I don't think so.
Are you gonna give me a
throw it.
newer one?
Maybe.
Because then I could
Oh.
check and make sure I have all those contracts, because sometimes I don't have a contract, because
Okay.
things happen backwards, and then I have a bill before I have a contract.
All
And
right.
if I could get a copy of it too, in case I get
Yeah,
emails.
all right, I will do that. I make no promises on that. Just, I think I have an idea I can bang it out using.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got everything, but that would just be a double check.
Yeah.
Now, I have a copy of this contract, which is the extension for the 3-year term with Veolia, but I don't have the signed copy of that. Because
We
I'd like to
signed
add,
this, yeah, we signed
you
this.
did,
Yeah,
I'd like to add it to the O&M binder.
Yeah, no, we signed this. You want us to sign this again?
Yeah, if you
These
all
are-
want to sign that, that would be easier than,
These are all signed. Okay. Let me just make sure.
Yeah,
An
make sure
agreement,
it's a true
3 years,
copy.
extended. First shall be 23, 40 hours, which will cut those this time drafting 7 annually, kind of the original agreement. The only thing that's missing from this was afterwards on the hourly employees, but no, this is gold.
oh,
Well,
Was there-
whoa.
wait a minute, was there a new
you say
attachment for the
missing?
hourly employees?
No, we discussed this yesterday with Mike Burke.
Okay,
Okay.
because here's the thing, I wasn't gonna say anything because it's really Megan's place to say it, but they're gonna start charging us for the grease traps. And she had a figure that doesn't match. I said, you can't charge us something that's higher than what's in the contract.
Right.
So I went back to our original contract because I didn't think there was any pricing.
There is no pricing in this, so you go back to this is the only amendment to the old contract.
Right, so they have to charge us the old prices.
Yes, they
Okay.
do.
All right, because she had something that I don't have and I didn't think,
Nope, not valid.
okay,
That's the only addition to the old contract.
okay, good. Oh,
Do
you
we
want to
want
sign
to
that?
sign that?
Yeah,
Mark?
please.
Do we want to note this as a copy?
Did you just sign it?
No, I did not. Because there's no signature page.
There you go.
Okay, so why would
Well,
you
let's
have
all
that?
take a look through our stuff
Because, no,
and see
we
if
have-
we
we
have
have-
the original. It's got to be
Yeah,
somewhere.
we signed the original.
Okay,
I think we signed it at the last meeting, 2 meetings ago.
All right, let's,
I'm just ironing out the wrinkles from Mike's exit
Well-
to some
Oh, yeah.
stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Nope.
All right, so yesterday, I sent you a correspondence from David about the
Manholes and sewers on
spring, summer, and the
spring,
intersection,
yes.
yeah.
Now, as far as my last recollection, and I think I sent you an email on to Dave, that Rick had talked to David Saucier, I'm not sure if that's seal line, guidelines, whatever.
It's guidelines.
Guidelines, and he was going to, I guess he had made arrangements to Dave to do it. I don't know what Rick did with that. I sent the text out to to David Saucier yesterday. I have not yet heard back from him. My assumption would be he'd be on vacation. So I sent it again to him in Messenger, asking him to give me a call. Let me just see, did he respond?
So the issue is, Rick did not have a list of the manholes, so I'm not sure if David Saucier is able to price that job.
David has a list. Rick had a list.
yeah, somewhere I saw a list.
Rick had a
in
list.
that thread.
I can get you that list when I get home.
I have the list from Pat Brennan, I'm assuming it was that
Yeah.
list.
Yes,
Okay, so he did give that to David Saucier?
yes, he did.
And is
David
David
looked at it.
Saucier gonna give us a price?
Yes, so I thought he had already given Rick a price.
He didn't, Rick just contacted him and then that was the end of it.
Okay, no, I cut that right there to David.
Because we have a deadline, we had a calendar.
Just watch which finger you,
What,
Watch what?
he's being smart. What is the deadline on that?
I think they're gonna pave.
Dave wants to do it the last week of July.
He's already hired them to pave the last week
And
of
I'm
July.
lining up the police details.
And I have another question on that, because to get out in front of it, well, I'm sure David Saucier will confirm with David Taylor, but we need to start on the right end of the road, whichever way they're starting.
What
I don't know
road
if
is
they're
this?
starting up Beach Hill, or if they're starting
I
on
don't
Spring,
know.
but.
I'll reach
but I'm
out to
sure
David.
David Saucier, I'm sure, will confirm
What
that.
road is this?
Spring
Summer Street, Beach Street,
And then the
intersection.
intersection.
Summer Beach.
And on that list, so anyway, Christian and Gary went out and marked all the manholes on that entire project a week or two ago.
yep.
But I remember from Pat, a couple of the manholes needed to be replaced, which was the whole reason why him and Gary went out. Do we
Yes,
know
they
which
do.
ones those are?
It was identified, and I believe David Saucier knows the ones that are gonna be replaced. That's when the confusion, when Mike was leaving, about the inventory and what we had.
Right, so I asked Rick to have Christian go out and do an inventory, and he gave me the inventory.
Yep.
The issue is, I don't know if Mike purchased the right manholes or not.
Give it to me and I'll.
Because I
run with that
think he got some bolted down type, and maybe that's not.
I don't think you need bolted down type. The only ones
Exactly.
you need bolted down to are on intersections where heavy traffic And the others you do not need bolted down, they're just
Right.
gonna be sealed.
Right, so, but Michael bought the bolted down kind, and that's not what we needed.
No.
That was my concern,
No, we don't need bolted down.
but that's what we have, because
Okay.
that's what Mike
Let me-
Buckley bought.
Give me the inventory, I'll go up, I'll talk with David Taylor, and then I'll go up to Holdley with them. See if I can get a
Are
swap.
any of those manholes that Michael bought to be used in the Center Avenue project? Because I think he's
No.
the
looking at
bolted
that
down
as well.
manholes can be used on state projects.
Okay.
So if they can be used on Center, they can be used on Center Ave, if it's a state
That
road.
might be part of the reason he did that.
They use the bolt down ones too on dead ends.
They don't call them bolt down, what do they call the ones? They're locking.
They're locked, but I call them bolt downs.
There's a difference though.
No, I've
Are
done
you
my
sure?
eyes.
I think there's a distinction there, but I don't know what it is. Just remember that when you're checking the inventory. So I took that list and I have it on Excel, so I'll give that to you.
Yeah, please do. I'd like to do that today or tomorrow. So, I don't wanna slow that other thing down, that work down.
Yeah, I don't wanna slow that down either. Okay, so I got another request for a permit, and this is from the building department. I sent it to you guys. They have built a new foundation, they're framing a new addition on the rear of the existing house following construction plans.
Is this 34 Illinois Lane?
It is.
Yeah.
Do we
So-
have any problem with that one?
I have
How
no
many
problem with
bedrooms
that.
are there? I couldn't figure it out.
The new addition didn't
It's just
include
garage.
bedrooms,
Right.
yeah. I think it was, I
So
didn't
it's
print
not
the
a whole
permit.
new?
No.
Oh, I was thinking it was a
No.
whole new
No.
house. Okay.
And we checked, it's not going over the lateral,
No,
because
it's
they already
not.
put it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, so this. Dowling Court, I sent this to Chuck on July 8th.
Yep,
That was Mrs. Kelleher. She's gonna do a cut and cap because they're demoing that house. Did you reach out to them?
I reached out to her and told her that the only thing the contractor has to do is when he pulls his permit to make sure I'm notified when he cuts. And I wanna be there for the cut and cap.
Do you know who she's using?
Yes, I have it written down at home in my kitchen.
Okay.
I can't think of it.
Oh,
I
wait
think
a
I
minute.
gave you the name, it was on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The number of bedrooms is not changing, the footprint is changing,
Yep.
so we'll need to compare her drawings to the as-built. Did we do that? That was on June 10th.
No, I did not compare the drawings to the as-built.
All right, so we need to pull the as-built. But that's for when they come back in to rebuild the
Right,
house.
when they rebuild the house. All she's cared about getting the demo now.
Right.
Very nice person.
So 373 East Water,
373 East Water.
I got a call from a contractor about that, right? But it's 373 Rare, East Water Street in Rockland, so I gave the contractor a copy of the letter. This is the one that we said after reviewing your case, we've concluded that a sewer connection is not readily available for your property due to the following conditions.
Yep.
And it was downhill,
And way
and
out
around the
back.
corner. And we had not assigned a stub to that property when sewer came in, so that must have been like a consideration afterwards.
Yep.
So I sent that to the contractor and said if they're just doing a repair, you know, it has nothing to do with us because they're
Right.
on,
That has nothing to do with it.
just in case that comes up again. I also heard from Heidi Scheller at 452 Gardner Street.
That's the one in
She's
Hingham
the-
Street? Yeah,
No,
Hingham?
Gardner Street, yeah, she was on the
Yep.
Hingham line.
Yep.
And she paid to put her own stub in. But she's making it wheelchair accessible for her son.
Mm-hmm. That's not a problem.
So we don't have a problem with her tying
No.
into sewer because,
I think she lives right on the line, doesn't she?
She does. She's stuck back up in Gardner.
Yeah, I
No,
remember
there's no
that.
problem with that one at
That was a
all.
couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, but she just came up again about 2 months ago. I spoke with her, went down, saw the house, and that's not an issue.
Because the road was open.
Right, so we advised her at that time to put the stub in,
Yes.
Yeah.
which she did, and she paid for, so.
She's golden.
Holy Family, we got nothing going on with that right now, right?
No, I signed the fee schedule form, sent it off to them, and that's all. They have no problem with the fees that I know of. He just wanted a signed copy.
And the last time I have anything about French's Road was from Michael Buckley on Friday, May 24th.
French's Road, we've refreshed
Wait.
our memory.
We done with? He said he drove through French's Road and there was no construction work going on. I believe all the contracts have left.
But backhoe's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, French's
no.
Road, okay, yes, I know where it is, yep, that's done.
No, that's gone too.
Yeah, because we had all
Those in last
those,
week.
that's done.
No, I've got concern with French's Crossing, I'm trying to throw my mind back again.
It's on Pond Street. They're
Good,
down
yeah.
the other end by the sewer treatment plant, the pump
Oh.
station. That's where they have
Pump
the
station.
equipment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see anything down there.
So this is
lately.
all open drainage stuff that we got from David Taylor. That's what
Has
we're
a
doing. We have
lane
French's Road.
Almost in the woods.
Yeah,
Rice
I
Ave.
think
Yeah, Rice Ave's, like, that's a mess.
Hey, speaking of Rice Ave, I guess all the units at Dyer Street gas fire are sold. So we should be seeing connections there.
so. Is that drainage all squared away? 'Cause
No.
I know
No.
the residents. were
No, I got a
crazy.
call from a resident a few days ago, and I followed up with them. I had given it to Rick, and I don't know if he sent someone out there, but I called today to follow up and see if they were still having the issue. It's a drainage issue. He said it was like standing at the ocean's edge during low tide, and it went for 4 or 5 days. But he described the grates, and I know that the drainage, but is that open drainage?
That would be open. Do you have an address on Rice Ave, or is that the one right at up at the end on Union?
This is Dyer Street we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about Dyer Street.
Okay, so that'd be South Douglas Street, not Rice Ave.
Right, but she's not. No, we
No,
moved
we
on
jumped.
from Rice Ave.
We jumped.
Rice Ave, these are all the open drainage
Okay,
issues
okay,
that I
so
got from.
you're on Dyer Street now.
Yes.
Yep,
Okay, Dyer Street is South Douglas Street, so let me just, so you want me to
they're
take
not
a
having an issue right now. I told her if they have an issue in the future, to call us back.
Okay,
So my question was, I know all during construction it was a mess.
it was.
And I'm just wondering if they've,
It was, and I know
Fix
that
that.
Pat checked the sewer, but I don't know who checked drainage. Did Pat check that as well?
I don't know, I'll have to check with Pat.
So I told her to call back if they have an issue again. And it was during that heavy rain that they had the issue.
everybody had issues, yeah.
All right, so these are all open drainage. We already talked about French's, we talked about Rice Ave, we just touched on Dyer. There's a problem up on Crescent Street. I have a note in here that you were gonna speak with Melanie. That must be the homeowner up there.
What number Crescent?
230. This area has an outlet pipe that goes behind 230 to 236. An open drainage dumps behind and along the rail trail. Everyone dumps grass, leaves, and brush there.
Mike looked at that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not look at that, so if you have the phone number for Melanie, I will touch base with her to see if it was addressed.
I don't have a number for her.
Okay, I'll take a ride at 2:30. I'll do that tomorrow.
Gotta be
Just
hot.
double checking.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have her number.
Go.
Melanie, 978-500-4487.
487?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what, I don't know if these are getting put on a list somewhere, the
I don't
open
know
drainage. We
Well-
got 390 North Ave for open
390
drainage.
North Ave, I've dealt with a number of times, and I'm still active. What I'm having is Pat Brennan come down to take a look at that. Is they experience, that's Rita Howe's old house. They get drainage from Evans Road, North Ave, and Plain Street, and it is 8 feet below grade. During that heavy rain, it flooded, and the new homeowner kind of panicked. There's a 4-inch drain at the back of it. So she said the property's useless, it wasn't draining. The long story short, I looked at it. Come to find out after the panic left, that the flooding subsided 45 minutes after the heavy rain stopped, which is telling me the drain is working.
Yeah.
And she wants to know why she's paying taxes if she can't use that. I'm saying your only alternative is to fill that area. I mean, so you don't have the ponding. It's a low area. So, that's where that stands.
So when we have Pat Brennan go out and check these things, how are we paying him? Are we paying him out of drainage?
Paying him out of drainage, if we do, our superintendents will make the call then.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a look at that with me when he's in the area. That's not gonna be a pay for.
When you do see him, can you tell him to please invoice us promptly?
Right away.
Because
Okay,
that's
yep.
ridiculous.
I thought Pat Brennan worked for the town.
If we hire him for sewer
We're
stuff, we have
hiring
to pay him.
Yeah. When Michelle comes on board, do you think it would be helpful to put all this in a spreadsheet
For what reason?
to find out how much drainage issues come through?
Okay, wait,
Right,
can we just go through the list first, find out where we are?
No, I meant,
Yeah.
I just needed clarification on that. So 25 Dowling Court, we just spoke about that one.
Yep.
That one's already done. Hammond Golf, they're on our waiting
I'm
list.
in golf course. I sent an email to Kayla, the attorney. I can't pronounce her last name. And saying, you please find out what their plans are because we are contemplating going up on fees. So I have not heard back from her.
Are they on the waiting list?
Yeah.
They'll be the
They're
next
on the
one to
pending.
go on.
Yeah.
But I want to find
Pending
out what
witness.
they're doing first. I'll call Kayla one more time.
Actually.
Do you have a phone number for Kayla? No, I get it from it. Sullivan Attorneys in Norwell. I can get that.
Yeah, she doesn't have, it's not included in this.
No, I can get it. I
Chain
have it.
here.
I have it.
All right, so that's that. And the next thing we were gonna talk about,
Cody.
yeah.
Oh, but let me go on one thing while we have spoken about drainage, while I have all this here. So, this regarding the drainage behind the Phelps School, I want to notify them that, where we had them in the meeting, something has to be done about that. The way I've worded it that, within 120 days of this notice, give us a rough draft of what's gonna be done. 6 months after, 6 months from receipt of the notice, give us a time and plan for corrective action, because that is gonna all end up in sewer. So, I've met with the park department, they're on board, they know it's a problem.
And this is the school property.
Yeah,
I
this
thought
is-
there was a question about
Well, he claimed that, remember, if you recall at the meeting, he said it was outside their scope of work, and I let that ride at the time, because I knew that they did touch that drain pipe. And that's why I met afterwards with the park commission to make sure that I wasn't jumping the gun. My position is, where they touched that drain pipe, they pulled that drain pipe and closed it. All well and good. They went outside their scope of work. That is now part of their scope of work. They made no accounting or suggest what to do with that water. So that's back in their lap. They can deal with it. They went outside their scope of work. They were told to raise it. They didn't want to raise it, but they pulled that pipe. Where they expect the water to go? Either way, even if they raise that manhole, they should have raised that elevation in that outfield, because it's still in a pond. And the people from Reed Street that complained at the time were worried it was in the March flooding, worried about mosquitoes if it happened in the summer, which is valid, because that sat there for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that's a letter that'll be going out after I make my edits that Robin suggested. Okay, now you're on Cody.
Okay. So, I've been coding all the bills, out of what accounts that we're gonna pay them out of. So when I get a contract, a signed contract, I try to find out up front what account we're gonna pay that out of. And then I wait for the invoices to come in. And different vendors or different, they have different ways of coding their bills. So Wright Pierce, they assign project numbers. So when I get the first one, I note the project number and I look it up in the accounts book. So when I have a new contract, I copy it, find out where we're gonna charge that, and then I put a copy of it in that tab in our accounts book, which I can refer to. And then when I get the first bill, I make note of that project number. It's a lot easier to follow the project number, to always code it for the same account. So for instance, this one here is from Wright Pierce, and it's the wastewater treatment facility generator replacement. That was assigned project number 21798. So when I get that, I make a little cheat sheet of those project numbers, and that's gonna be APA generator. That one's kind of easy anyway, because it says right on there, the account number. But this is time consuming, and sometimes when I don't have the contract, or it's not indicated on the contract where we're gonna charge it, everything has to come to a halt so I can figure that out to meet the deadline to get them paid. So that starts to be an issue. So I was looking for, this is actually the superintendent's duty to code the bills, but I've been coding them practically since I've been here, because Keith coded a few, Michael didn't understand it, and David, he knew how to do it, but he wasn't here that often. So I've just basically been doing it. So I wanted to, I suggested to Chuck that maybe we could code the bills during the meeting, because not only would that, it would help educate everybody on where we are with the funding and where we're spending it, and reiterate it every week. So instead of me just being in there with my little cheat sheet. So that one is easy, 21798. This one from Wright Pierce has a project number of 21562, which is wastewater funding assistance, and we were going to charge that out of the superintendent's salary, because that's where we've been charging it. That would have been a duty of the superintendent. Those two are pretty easy. And then I have a legal bill. Obviously we have an account for legal, so that's an easy peasy one. Now this one here, so I've been having a little bit of an issue pushing back with Weston and Sampson, because I know we jumped the gun with the year 3 I&I. And they twice, so 4 times, two invoices twice. They keep trying to get paid, but the account isn't funded until fiscal year 25, so I pushed them back. And though they have project numbers assigned as well, they start with ENG 24-0597, and that's from Article 17, which is the year 3 I&I infiltration. So I'll take note of that project number, and when they send in the invoice that's correctly dated, I'll pay it out of that, and then I'll add that number to the cheat sheet. So there's that one, 0597, so that's 2 copies of the same one.
Did you put it around there?
There'll be one more bill due on that.
And I don't, what was the, do you remember offhand what the?
160.
155.
155.
Yeah, 155,000 was that contract. So in the contracts book, so I have all of the contracts in 2 binders that are like 4 and 5 inches each. I put on the tab who the contract is with and the amount of the contract.
Okay.
So you can bear that in mind if you're getting contracts that have the same amount. It gets a little confusing. I don't care if you add $1. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there was 1 contract or 2 contracts that had the same amount one time,
I remember that.
and that was,
Yeah, and it came up every time we tried to talk about something.
yes.
But if we can add the project number to that would
Right,
help.
they see, so the problem is they don't assign the
they
project
don't tell
number
you
until it
till
gets
after.
to their accounting.
Yeah.
So you kind of playing catch up after that, but once you have it,
Yeah.
it's easy to keep track of.
Yeah. I'm thinking if I can get that updated contract list, we can put it in there,
That would be perfect,
right?
yes. That would make coding so much easier.
Yeah.
And then there's the easy stuff like the Comcast bill is always sundries. And now, I saw something about this underground, so I know you asked Rick to do a few things before he left, and I wanted to keep track of what he was doing, so I issued him purchase orders to keep track of what account it was coming out of. It was signed off by the commission, and there's a description and all of that. So 25001 was voted at town meeting, and that was for the underground storage tank.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's some kind of other correspondence as of late. Did Rick send you some
I
correspondence
haven't
about
heard
that?
yet, I haven't heard anything about that in a long
Okay,
time.
so we signed off on it for $20,475 on the purchase order. And it was Dandel Construction was gonna do the work
Uh-huh.
after June 30th.
Yep.
Is anybody gonna follow up with that?
I'll take that and I'll follow up on it now for.
Do you need a copy of
If you
this?
give me a copy of it, don't give me yours. If you wanna email that to me and say, please follow up.
Can you make a note to find out if that's the full work?
It would be the full work. What was the amount? I'll tell you if it's the full,
Additional costs, like,
24,000?
Is there a cost to haul it away, or
Well,
fill in the hole, or
Oh, I think that's
whatever?
all, if it's 24,000, that's complete work and excludes soil sampling.
the
That's low.
exclusions are engineering, erosion control, so he doesn't know that until he starts digging. Permit fees, do you need a permit fee for
Yeah.
that?
I believe
Who do you
it
get the
does.
permit from? Is it the Board of Health or building?
I think it would be, Delhi.
And then anything not in the scope of work will be considered additional work and billed as an additional charge.
I think the only thing would be soil samples that I requested. We talked about 30,000 for some reason on that.
Right.
And now just, I don't know if you wanna use it, just so you know, the state extended the deadline, I wouldn't take advantage of it. I'd get it the hell out of there now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have
Because,
it
well, if you want
funded.
it, the more we get done now, we don't have to deal with.
That's right.
Okay,
Clear
so-
ducks.
this is what's included. Remove and dispose of the concrete and asphalt as needed.
Yep,
Remove and dispose of the 8,000 gallon UST.
yep,
To include the disposal of the bottom, which is 4 inches of residual waste, so they must dig down, make sure that there's no contamination in the soil.
Yeah.
They're gonna excavate, remove, and legally dispose of the UST at a state-certified dismantling yard. They're gonna remove and dispose of the associated piping. They're gonna backfill the hole in lifts to match the existing grade, patch all disturbed areas with new asphalt, and provide for environmental testing of the soil as required. Provide a letter report of field screening and laboratory results,
yep.
and assist the town with required Mass DEP notification in their UST database system. And they're gonna provide all equipment, labor, and machine work to complete the project, and then I already read you the exclusions.
Sounds pretty good, okay.
Yeah,
That is elaborate, that's good.
That sounds
I
pretty
don't
good.
know what, like, the contingency for the exclusions is, do they,
Contingency would
Did
be
they
if
do
they
like-
find a leaker.
right, but
Yeah.
do they have
That's
like
extra.
is it usually like a 10%, or,
I don't know, I would say minimum 10%.
which would only be another 2,000, you said you were,
That'd be
It
okay.
was gonna be, I would say minimum
Up to
10%.
three, okay.
Yeah. I think we had up to 30.
We got an article for full.
so I didn't
Okay,
get an
yeah.
account
We'll
for
get
that from him, so what account were we using for that?
That was an
That's
article,
that's
so
in that separate article, 17D.
17D? I don't
Yep.
remember seeing that.
Yep, that's for sure.
17D, and did that get assigned an account number?
I'm sure it did.
Because I need that
just
for my
didn't write it
books.
down. Yep. You ready?
Yep,
260-14408-680409.
2601-4408-680-409.
Correct.
Oh, thank you. All right, and then I have some stuff that I needed to encumber. I forgot to put in my mileage for the, so I'm gonna calculate that and encumber it,
Oh,
right?
how many,
no joking, no joking.
All right,
where'd you
so,
go? You just figure it out now.
It's my
Florida.
my all around town stuff. So I have a purchase order 24011 FW Web for they were doing the water and sewer pinch valve for. This was at the plant. So what happened was
Back then.
it was
water main break?
no, it was kind of a problem to set up for Rick to set up an account with FW Web. So the school already had a bill, an account. So we used the school's account and we sent an email to them. It's for almost $2,900, and it's coming out of R&M, and it is water and sewer pinch valve 4-inch at the plant.
That was for back then.
Yeah. So we're gonna put that on R&M when we get the bill. So I have to encumber it because we don't have that bill yet. The other one is the generator bid. Affidavit of publication. They're looking for $1,300, and I didn't get an actual bill. This is just the affidavit, so I'm gonna have to encumber those funds. That was for I was charging that to APA Generator. That was for the bid.
To be published on it.
Yeah, all the publishing and stuff, yeah.
Yep. And then I have one for this is the one we spoke about earlier that I'm encumbering, the 155 for Veolia,
Yeah.
and that's it. Is anyone aware of any other outstanding bills?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I was really taken aback by that. I wasn't ready for that Viola one, but
So if you want to,
So what I would ask is that we make sure we're all squared away with Weston Sampson for year 2, yes?
year 2 is done.
Okay.
it's done, but have
It's
they
done,
finished
but are we
billing?
We're
fully
done.
billed
We
on
should be
it?
done billing.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
because
tell.
we did just get one from year 1 not too long ago, so
Right. And that finished out a contract. So it was the other contracts.
Okay, I'll do it for both billing for year 1 and 2.
Yes. And then we can start clean for 25.
What's her name? Begins with an E. I'll call her.
When we get this all up and running, the other building will be working too, right?
So I was going to talk about that now. The new hire.
We're still waiting on Veolia and that pending plan upgrade. So whatever those hours, you've got that. I think we just got that. I know we are still pending some invoices on the Hingham Street pump, but it's not installed yet, so.
No, it's not.
And those are both articles, so,
yeah, if it's not installed yet, they're gonna
It's
install
on
it
the
that doesn't
next
matter.
year. Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea what's going on with the MS4 services.
The what?
MS4 contract where we pay them monthly.
I just paid a couple for year 6.
So
They should
we're
be
all-
in that
okay.
warrant. We have until the end of the calendar year.
Yeah,
They don't bill fiscally, it's the calendar year.
I figured that out. Okay. Weston Sampson, the O&M plan assistance, rep report was due. That
That's
was
outstanding. We haven't seen any bills from that yet.
That's, okay.
Was that for fiscal year 25 as well?
That was for the April submission of the NIPSI's permit when we couldn't find the operations and maintenance manual.
So they haven't billed us for that yet?
No, they're preparing it. I'll touch base with Frank. and
So-
The
that.
15th is the deadline for encumbrances, and if they don't
That's
have it here,
$25,000.
yeah, if they
Fif-
don't have it here, they have to wait until next June to get paid,
Okay. I'll
because
find
it
out.
has to go to
No.
town meeting,
I'll call him right now.
unless they have a special town meeting in September, which they do on occasion.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything rumblings about that yet.
We're
We're
not
counting
on
on it.
I don't know. I haven't heard
Yeah, I
rumblings.
mean, that's the only other chance they would have to get paid
All right,
before
no, I'll
next
call
May.
him. I'll call him when we get out of here.
Yeah, that would be, and that's coming out of the superintendent's salary. So we definitely need to get that in.
Excellent, as a matter of fact.
Readers. 2024 rate study reviews. I mean, that's still ongoing.
That's ongoing.
Was that out of an article?
Yes, it expires at the end of 25. It's an older one.
Okay. So next June.
That's it.
Finally done.
I didn't fall asleep.
I know. Pretty good, huh?
Don't go going away. Submitted by when, the 15th, or they don't get paid?
Yeah, until May or June.
That's fine. The temp, where do we stand with that?
What do you mean temp?
The new,
No.
the temp, yeah.
The
Part-time.
part-time senior clerk?
Yes.
I
This
thought
would be the
Starting July
19th.
29th.
The 29th and 19th?
No, the 29th. She was going on vacation the week of the 18th, I think. July.
She's
So July
starting
29th?
July 29th.
I didn't know that was her start date. Her name is Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Monday.
Okay, that's all I have. Send me that for Dan Dell and I'll jump on that when I get home. For the manholes.
Yeah. I've got notes on everything. I'm gonna go through it now and do the follow-up. Do you need me for anything else?
No, thank you.
All right.
One other thing I had is I met with Allison Quinn. She did a water presentation at the library for the general public. 1, 2, 3 people showed up.
Oh, did they film it, or did they record
I
it?
think they did. Did they film it? No, I don't think they did. I mean, it was. I felt bad for her. I mean, she
Yeah.
had big expectations.
There was, well, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, short notice, but I think out of that is what came with the general interview and all that other stuff.
Yeah, she's
One other
doing another
thing-
one in August. Are you going to do
She
that?
is running one in August or September, I think.
If
I think
you're doing
September.
that, if you want to record it, I will volunteer my time to come down and
All right, I'll
push the on button.
text her, let her know that.
Me or you?
You could if you want. Out of that meeting, what I asked her to do is get me a list of people, contacts. Hanover, Hull, Norwell, Pembroke, Hanson. Wastewater is not just Rockin's problem. We're going to be, once we get this OPM on board for the facility, I'm going to focus my efforts on secondary discharge systems to take the pressure off of this. And I think we may not have the property in town, but maybe there's other properties that are close by that could share it. We could say, you could connect to some of that and
Right.
at least get some dialogue going.
Yeah,
Because
that's
the
wonderful.
people have got to realize that this
Well, it
upgrade
is.
is not the end all.
Right.
What's they say? I went by the Howard sewer treatment plant. They do all kinds of work down
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
there. They always, they're not the, they have a flood. They're going in the water again.
They're going big time. They had an upgrade going on too. What else? A legal bill. I wanted to discuss something with legal with you. I had a very heated conversation with Chris Kenny. We apologize, he talked civilly later. Chris is one of the attorneys. I had requested documentation from Shingle Mill and the EPA, and they're saying, well, we got to go back and look at it and make copies, and that time is money. And I said, well, I've already paid for it, legal services. We should have been copied up front. And we weren't, and we left it at that hopefully in the future we will be up front. Now then, you recall that the union put a grievance in about me making a gun cocking motion as a joke, that some people did not take it as a joke. A couple of people took it as offense. Well, that offense is costing us $1,237 in legal fees for them to look at that. Now, I'm going to the bill, when I pay them, I'm saying, I didn't request those services. So if they're gonna just blanketly charge us, I'm gonna tell them, you will supply more documentation than just this. Because I'm not paying it, because we didn't request it.
Summary of the services. Yeah.
But no, even though I'm not paying it, I don't think we should pay it, it's not
I don't
up to
think so.
me.
Whoever squawks should pay.
Whoever filed the grievance can pay it. If they wanna come to me and identify themselves as a grievance and talk about it, I have no problem. But don't just hit me with a $1,200 legal bill. So I took that out of the warrant. I did not pay it, I did not approve it. So I will be notifying Chris Kenny of that. But I think in the future, if they're gonna bill us for legal services, I think we should insist on seeing any supporting documentation for it.
Who asked for it?
I asked them, they took,
No,
they,
no.
I asked them for Shingle Mill, maybe I was in error and I could see his point that it's a ton of work going back after the fact. Well, in the future, if you're gonna bill me for legal services, show me what you're billing me for. That's my position. Don't just send me, you owe me $330. Here's, for example, here's what it says,
So,
just so you know. Okay. Sewer Department calls and emails regarding incident. Okay. Case conference with Attorney Messina regarding sewer investigation. Email regarding client meeting, bills. Investigation, case, conference with Attorney Kenny. I mean, 112, 225, they mount up. I didn't ask for that conference. Somebody asked them to get involved, let them pay it, or the union can pay it.
the other question is that billing rate, is that just a flat fee?
That's a
with it-
flat fee. That's a
From
flat fee.
the company, it doesn't.
From the legal fees. And I guess the way it
Well, my
works,
question, yeah, is that for partner's fee or the associate's fee? Because generally those people bill differently.
well, I think it's a flat rate that they worked out with the town, because
Okay,
I think
that's
they're
what
in
I
a
thought.
contract, $20,000 a year with
Okay.
the
But
town.
if someone calls up for information, we pay for that too.
Yeah, but if I call up above and beyond, I could see that being charged, but, ask for it. So, and if the town is gonna say, okay, it's going to sewer, I wanna see documentation, why, what was said, who said what, and I'll pay it.
I need you to date that first page, the date that the contract is effective.
July 1.
Well, it's been signed,
June what?
the date that they signed it was June 14th.
That's what we'll sign down.
But when did we
What about
sign?
our signatures?
Yeah.
There's no date line for your signatures. The only
Okay,
date
we'll put
on
down the
it-
14th.
Okay.
Initial it?
Nope. Thank you.
So, that's where I stand with the legal. I hate lawyers anyway. So, passing proceedings, but with that, I'll take a motion in today's meeting after I talk to, you sure you don't wanna be part of that board?
I'll think about it.
Please think about it, John.
It's just to select somebody.
I wanna have representation from the residents. You've shown an interest, I think you're warranted first crack at it. Amount of time, I think nothing being more than this, it may be boring for you, I don't know. But I do want somebody astute, somebody who will ask good questions, and someone who will listen during the interview process for this local project manager, because I really, when we hire him, I want to drop it, I want this upgrade off my back.
Yes, I agree.
I want to start focusing on secondary treatment options.
Yep.
So with that, I'll take a motion in the meeting.
Motion.
I'll
No,
probably
no,
later.
no.
No?
We have our wait list that this is updated.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna call Kayla because she's next on the list, but they gotta,
So, I didn't make a copy.
That's
Can
it.
you look at it? Okay. We just need to vote to get this posted on the website.
okay. We'll make a motion that we post the
Second,
June 26th, is that right? That's what I have. So
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the current list of projects. Do I have a second?
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well.
Okay, great.
I want to call Kayla. I want that money.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I also updated the I-9 account general
Oh,
ledger sheet.
that's, okay.
You're welcome. And that's where you came back to that 60,000 that we still owe.
Okay, so we owe 60,000.
Mhm. That's how I see it.
This goes back to why we have a moratorium. Well, we're currently at 2.98, permits for 2.5.
Main ones are 2.
We still owe 61,000, so we should add more connections.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed, because with the year 3 report, it might be to come to 0.
Yeah, it could be.
That'd be nice.
Well, even so, we still gotta get below, and that's where we're catching up. So the moratorium can make,
Making some progress.
We're making
absolutely.
progress.
Yeah.
the big hit is gonna be that inflow, but they really gotta realize that that's a long-term return on your investment.
I found this from another town's website that talks about what's required when selling a property for sewer. You'd be interested.
Oh, I got this, I have this.
Oh, did I give that to you?
No, but when I met with him, I pulled his, I pulled it, if you
Yeah,
recall, I
basically,
added
if
in
you
that.
sell it, that's when you get inspected, that's when the sump pump gets corrected.
Yep. And remember I put in an addendum to the rules and regs about this, where we tabled it?
Laterals, yeah.
Yeah, I wanna look at that, and I'll make a proposal for that next one.
That's it. Now,
Well, got it. Make the motion.
Second, all in favor,
Aye.
Mr. Ross? Ms. Valley?
yes.